Assalamualaikum, selamat datang Kas Raudah Cahaya Tua Gatih Terengganu 2025. Sekarang kita bersama saya Rizal Tisin dan host saya Nick, dan kita ada dua guest hari ini. Kita ada Danny Fang, advisor untuk pasukan TSG, dan kita ada ni dia tadika orang kuat kita, Dan Neja. Selamat datang, welcome Nick.
Yeah.
Do you have any opening first?
Okay, so just to get the preamble out of the way, Danny Fang is very heavily involved with TSG, spent a very long time being involved in the cycling industry, as well as Din Nejar, the technical lead and the organizational head, specifically for technical here. So we're going to go over a few questions here. I'm going to start with Danny Fang. So can you tell us a little bit about your role as an advisor for TSG, what it entails, and basically the nitty-gritty of it?
Sure. So I'm not involved in the daily operation. I'm based in KL, but I'm very much in touch with the whole TSG teams in terms of looking at long-term planning and also strategic planning and how we want to organize the team, what are the races we go to, what are the riders we are signing for the next year, and which rider go to which races, and how basically for a simple, how the team can stay number one continental team in the world. That's our target. And at the same time, also how can we improve the Malaysian Terengganu riders to improve their level as well through the program. So that's my two main target, and as an advisor, more of a strategic planning on this two role.
So should we call you like a freelance, or you got full time with TSG?
It's a freelance. I also have my own business. So that's why I was more involved full time basis. Now I'm involved more part time basis. So I don't go to the races. So we have a very capable staff, DSs and mechanic and soigneur that are very experienced. So fortunately I don't have to go to travel and go to a lot of the races, but more of a behind the scene. And again, and I think it's more of a strategic long-term view, overall view. And I work very closely with the CEO of the team, Chedin, yes, and Cheku. And they both have been very, very supportive, and also working together with the coaches, with the DS. Because they are the one that go to the races, so we often talk and after race, and how did this rider do, why he did do well, he didn't do well, what did we do wrong, and how do we improve. So I rely very much on the feedback from the DS, from Saifu and Nai, and so that's what I do. We do it by conference calls and so forth very frequently, and that's how we plan forward.
Is TSG Academy under TSG or different entity?
It is under TSG, absolutely. So it was created, the idea was to develop the younger riders and how to bring them up and give them the avenue to move up from maybe like from the Sukma level or the junior level to a more competitive level, and then eventually come up to Terengganu cycling team, because the goal is actually to bring two academy rider from every year to bring up, to graduate them from the academy and then move up to the professional team.
Okay, so next we go to Neja. Orang kuat Tua Gatih.
Orang kita yang behind the scenes tu, yang tolong kita daripada segi technical semua. So boleh terangkan sikit peranan awak sebagai technical lead di Tua Gatih di Terengganu ni?
Kalau orang kata kuli-kuli je sebenarnya.
Mana kuli?
Selalu ni dia kata orang kuli dia buat semua benda.
Kerja biasa je, cumanya yang spesialis lah. Untuk pada kali ini saya ditugaskan oleh penganjur lah, untuk MSN dan juga Abang B, untuk teknikal lah, untuk selaras dari segi signage, dari segi tempat pelepasan, start finish, dari segi persiapan barrier, dari segi pintu gerbang, design, semua tu di bawah saya lah. Dan untuk makluman, apa yang dipersembahkan pada kali ini adalah memang dirancang ramai-ramai lah, bukan kata saya seorang yang buat, cuma mengikut keperluan tempat, penganjur nak macam mana, Cumanya kalau tengok berat sikit lah pasal memang hampir bawah saya ada 50 orang. 50 hingga 60 orang yang perlu saya jagalah dan perlu saya jaga untuk selaraskan apa yang perlu kita buat dulu. Pertamanya untuk manage masa lah. Kerana kita tahu stage by stage ni dengan peralatan kami yang terhad, yang limit, tidak ada dummy ataupun 2-3 benda yang sama lah. Pakai yang satu saja. Jadi dari segi dari segi pengurusan masa tu agak kelam kabut, tapi kita buat pasangan dah awal dah. Setakat ni lah 6 stage ni, setakat ni alhamdulillah masih lagi mengikut jadual asal dan berada di landasan yang betul lah setakat ni. Okay. Mungkin ada sikit-sikit lah yang agak tu
biasa.
Mungkin aku tak perasan tu.
Nampak. Dia punya kelancaran tu je. Orang tak perasan je. Ini memang full time benda ni ke apa?
Untuk maklumat saya sebenarnya bertugas di Majukan Negeri Terengganu.
Sebagai apa?
Jurulatih Sukma mountain bike.
Okey.
Basikal juga, basikal.
Okey.
Cuma untuk race kalau di Terengganu lah, memang saya lah orang yang ditugaskan sebagai teknikal lah. Apa-apa race, sekalipun race besar, race kecil ke, di Terengganu memang saya lah.
Ni kalau orang Jawa panggil multi talented je.
Multi talented. Tapi lah kita persembahkan cara kampung lah maknanya. Walaupun benda ni bagi kami mungkin agak kelam kabut, agak benda. Saya rasa benda ni, walaupun race ni orang kata tak bertaraf UCI apa benda, tapi kita perlu persembahkan benda ni sebagai macam UCI punya standard.
Macam antarabangsa standard.
Walaupun tengok race, kalau saya suka cakap pasal gini, bahasa race kampung gitulah. Tapi sebenarnya kita wajib persembahkan benda tu bukan kampung lah, bukan kampung. Tapi saya cuba dengan peralatan kami yang ada, dan bukan peralatan yang kita sewa daripada mana, tidak. Semua fully barang-barang semua kita punya.
Ala-ala menyelup. Pakai dengan betul.
Kalau ada sikit-sikit tu bagi tahu jelah apa yang kurang tu, insya-Allah kita perbaikilah untuk.
Yalah, saya rasa setiap every iteration of a tour, we just get better and better with more practice. So we're going to go back to Danny now. So TSG as an organization, you've been involved in cycling since 2001, right? That's a total of 24 years.
Yes.
Based on your experience and your own observations, what's the growth like in Malaysia, and do you feel like it's a healthy growth, or do you still feel that the gap is still too wide for us to close?
It's definitely a healthy growth. Right, when I came here 2001, there was no professional team in Malaysia. They were my friends. They are in the national team, and their target was like the SEA Game, the ACC. They don't have the opportunity to go out, and the national rider, they have a full-time job, and they either work at a bike shop or they work for a government company, but they have to go work, and then they have to train in the morning. That's not, and they have, you ask them to compete with the professional riders who just eat, sleep, and cycle. So it's and because there was no avenue for them to move up further. But now you look at Malaysia, there are 2 professional teams. There's the Malaysian Pro Cycling Team, and there's the Terengganu Cycling Team. That's 2 opportunity for the rider to move up to the professional level, to race among full time. So Terengganu Cycling Team, all rider are just working as training as a cyclist, and so we expect them to compete at the highest level. So definitely the level, and also just involved in the amateur racing scene, and the level has improved phenomenal. You go to, I just recently went to the Lakas Highway ride. There were excess of 5,000 people participating. And if you tell me that in 2001, that there will be an event of 5,000 people, I didn't think there would be 5,000 cyclists in Malaysia, period. So, it just grew phenomena. So, definitely. But given that said, the world level also grew a lot. So we are still playing a catch-up game. There's still a significant gap to the world level, but it is definitely moving toward the right step. And this is we're improving, And now we have riders in the Trengano cycling team being the #1 continental team in the world. So that's certainly, well, in 2003 and 2004, so that certainly said a lot. And giving the opportunity for the Malaysian rider to compete with some of the best rider in the world.
Yep. So where are you when the TSG started? Back in 2010, is it?
In 2010, you have to look at the exact time. It was 2010, and I know when we started the team, actually I was, the Trengano team didn't, we started even before that. It was with Shinichi Fukushima and myself. We actually joined the team with a Korean sponsor. It's called the Gumsan Jinseng cycling team. And we wanted to compete in Tour Langkawi, and I wanted a Malaysian rider. I needed a Malaysian rider.
Why?
And because I believe that if you want to compete in Tour Langkawi, and then we wanted a local hero. And we have someone, and it was Anwar Manan. I personally met with Anwar. And we had a very small budget. I think he was the only rider was getting paid on the team.
Oh, really?
Everybody else were just amateur kids, just non-pay rider. But we squeezed our little tiny budget, and I met with Anwar, and I told him that we want him to join us, and the goal is to win the stage in Tour de Langkawi. And that was our goal that we set from the very beginning. And imagine we go to a race with 6 riders, and none of the 5 riders have even competed. None of them. Shinichi was supposed to be the captain, racing in the team and racing. And he had a crash in the training in Thailand. He broke his collarbone just before the Tour Langkawi. So we had no captain. Everybody's on the team. It was the first time to race a pro level race, and first time doing the Tour Langkawi, with the exception of Anwar Manan. He has done that before under the La Tourte. So yeah, we had no experience, and I was a DS, but we had a very clear, focused goal, and we told everyone in the team, and including Anwar, that he's here to win the stage in Tour Langkawi, and he trained very hard. And we spent, I think we spent a whole month in Thailand and training. And Anwar was the fittest ever, and he delivered the victory, become the first Malaysian ever won a stage in Tour Langkawi, but also by beating Michael Matthew, who was people cycling fans know that he is certainly not a small rider, and he's under 23. I mean, he has won some really big races in the professional level, and he's riding for, I think he's still riding for Jayco Arura team.
I think so.
Yeah, so he's definitely. And he went on to had a great career. But Anwar, since his victory at Tour Langkawi and also winning the green jersey, he won the stage against Speeding, and he also won the Covenant green jersey. Trengano government decided to contacted us and said, okay, since we have a Trengano rider that has achieved such a great result, why don't we make a team? So that was a great opportunity for us. So we decided, let's form a team together. So Shinichi and myself, we had a small company called Pro Asia Sports Management, and we formed together with the Trengano government. The Trengano government actually pump in all the majority of the sponsorship money, and then that's how it started. But I'm so happy to see after over 10-15 years, and we'll continue growing, and then we set the initial target as the best Asian team, and in the last 2 years we achieved the best continental team in the world. So it was definitely a great journey, and I think it's to be continued. So we're looking to continue grow the team, and so we're certainly excited about the future.
I think some people outside they don't know. They know TSG, but I think they don't know what the TSG means. You know what TSG means?
Well, there are the jokes about TSG stands for Trengano State Government.
Yeah,
but actually it's not. It's actually the company is actually the full name is actually Trengano Pro Asia Cycling Team, but the TSG is actually what the UCI, when you register a team with UCI, the UCI give you a three-letter abbreviation, and it's purely by coincidence. It says TSG. So, but that name stuck. Trengano Pro Asia, that was just way too long. But TSG, it was just, you know, you need a catchy phrase, and TSG, that certainly makes sense, and it was perfect. So, you know, people joke about it, but actually...
No, that's not joke. I approve my friend because I told them TSG is together with the government. Oh, sorry, my friend.
Yeah. Because even after, I think Sapura team was registered, and they were called TSC.
Yes,
there's nothing. There's no T in their team name.
Sapura Cycling.
It's Sapura Cycling, but you know, it's but it's just UCI give this acronym. So yeah, it's just by coincidence, but it's a fitting one because Terengganu state government is the main sponsor of the team, and they have been supporting the team for so many years. So we are really, I'm really appreciative. I mean, I think without their support, I wouldn't have my dream. I mean, my dream was to contribute something to Malaysia, and that's certainly they make my dream happen.
I think
Alright, Din, saya nak tanyalah, benda ni sangat-sangat penting. Halangan daripada segi logistik nak set up semua benda ni. Sebab 50 orang bawah awak punya pimpinan, lepas tu nak set up benda ni semua dalam jangka masa yang agak terhad, mestilah boleh katakan agak, macam mana nak kata, satu benda yang susah lah nak buat. Banyak moving parts.
Setakat ni mandi tak basah, tidur tak lena.
Oh, 2 hari lagi je.
Memang 2 hari lagi, tapi saya rasa macam 2 minggu lagi.
Oh, 2 hari.
Banyak sangat. Dengan status kami status kita. Kami ni bukan yang pro, bukan yang buat the tour, bukan yang buat selalu buat event yang besar-besar kan. Cuma buat event yang kampung-kampung apa biasa-biasa dekat Terengganu lah. Memang terlalu banyak lah, tapi oleh kerana perancangan awal, ada perancangan dan kita pun memang ada juga rujuk kepada kawan-kawan kita yang ITDA yang memang yang buat race sebagai pakai rujuk kita ada berjumpa dengan dia apa nak buat, ini nak buat. Tapi dari segi overallnya memang kalau kata tidur pun 2-3 jam. Makan pun rasa makan 2 pinggan tapi masak tak kenyang.
Faham.
Memang terlalu besar sangat. Pasal dengan kita bekerja, cara kita bekerja bukan yang pro. Jadi orang kata macam bahan gambang. Mana kerja kita gitu je. Mana tak nak pasang pagar tak. Tapi memang kita ada guideline lah. Apa yang perlu kita buat, SOP memang tu memang ada. Cumanya dari segi perwatakan seorang-seorang tu dia bukan orang yang pro bagian ni yang biasa buat ni. Cuma kita harus saja okey mu buat ni, mu buat tu. Memang macam saya memang telah pun setahun dah kita buat rujuk kepada orang ni lah. Tapi yelah, kalau saya seorang mungkin tak cukup sebenarnya. Pasal 50 orang lagi tu memang orang kata tak tahu benda. Dia hanya ikut arah ikut arah saja.
Faham.
Jadi tapi saya rasa bersyukurlah pasal walaupun begitu Terengganu ramai pelomba, bekas-bekas pelomba.
Ya, betul.
Jadi dengan bantuan bekas-bekas pelomba ni lah tim teknikal ni orang kata tak perfect tapi boleh bergerak. Kita ada ramai bekas-bekas pelomba yang selalu beri idea, beri macam Anwar sekalipun, macam Said Hussein, coach kita, geng-geng TSG yang selalu memang bagi tahu mau gini mungkin itulah pengalaman dia lomba di tempat luar banyak. Jadi dia bagi tahu kita okey buat gini dan dan tim juga macam Bambi pun dia memang juga pegang pelomba dan idea dia pun memang hampir 80% lah memang idea lah sebenarnya idea daripada dia sendiri. Dan dia mungkin dia pun bekas pelomba dah, dia tahu apa yang nak dirancang lah, nak buat tapi halangan dia memang banyak. Saya rasa memang ni pun 2 stage lagi tu bila nak habis.
Berapa tadi tu masuk tadi sibuk sana sini.
Bila nak habis.
Tapi saya pun rasa ni sebagai satu peluang untuk meningkatkan kemahiran setiap orang lah dalam sebab dah tahu guideline, SOP. So memang prestasi dan juga kualiti untuk setiap iteration lah, setiap kali buat event ni lagi meningkat lah. Daripada segi perubahan dan apa nama dia, kualiti dia meningkat daripada dulu, saya rasa memang perubahan dah banyak kan. Betul?
Saya tekannya alhamdulillah dalam Pak Siri ya. Pak Siri memang banyak meningkat lah dari segi barang-barang yang kita guna, dari segi design yang kita pakai, dari segi apa pekerja, teknologi apa terutamanya kru lah. Kru dah 2-3 kali siri, dia mungkin dah faham dah apa tugas dia. Pasal tugas kami ni sebenarnya memang masa cukup terhad sebenarnya.
Ya, betul.
Pasal bila pagi habis race, petang buka balik, pukul 4 habis, pukul 6 dah nak pasang untuk esok.
Ya.
Betul.
Jadi memang agak terhad. Dan perancangan pada kali ni agak berbeza sikit. Pasal kata tengok stage yang siri yang lepas dia direct lah.
Betul.
Start contoh di Kemaman, dia finishing di Dungun. Tapi pada kali ni alhamdulillah dia start finish tempat yang sama. Jadi kerja tu agak tu sikit lah, sikit mudah lah. Tak mudah juga, sikit mudah. Sikit daripada siri yang lepas. Cumanya dari segi logistik memang oleh kerana race ni tidaklah punya bajet yang besar. Jadi kita hanya gunakan apa-apa yang daripada
sedia ada lah.
Sedia ada jabatan kerajaan yang batu-batu kita kena kenderaan yang agak bukan kata pro punya, dengan lorinya, dengan trailernya apa, tidaklah. Kita pakai apa yang ada saja. Yang yang terutamanya daripada kerajaan lah, jabatan yang memang banyak membantu dari segi kenderaan lah kepada kita. Dan saya rasa kejayaan ni sebenarnya bukan kita kena semualah rakung semua. Walaupun yang tukang beri kenderaan tu tak kerja, tapi kenderaan tu yang bolehkan kita buat kerja sebenarnya. Jadi cabarannya memang agak tu lah. Cuma 4-5 tahun ni, dan insya-Allah jika ada lagi, memang kita dah sentiasa perbaiki lah apa yang perlu kita baiki. Tapi apa pun sebenarnya race ni duit.
Ya. Boleh kita tahu berapa bajet yang dapat yang diperlukan sebenarnya daripada siri pertama sampai sekarang?
Saya rasa kalau paling-paling minimum pun nak juga 2 juta saya
2
rasa.
juta je,
2 juta ke atas lah saya rasa.
Cukup 2 juta je?
Saya rasa
ngam-ngam
lah.
Ngam-ngam.
Pasal gini, yelah kalau tanya saya lah. Pasal kami ni bukan pro.
Ya.
Kami tak ada harga sebenarnya. Pasal memang kami untuk negeri Terengganu.
Betul.
Itu memang jiwa kami. Untuk nak suruh event ni jadi. Apa pun kena jadi juga. Maknanya kata kalau tidaklah kata teruk sangat bayang, tidak. Tapi kalau nak dipikirkan, kalau orang yang pro buat kerja ni memang dia tak ambil. Tapi pertama kami fikir negeri Terengganu. Itu memang di hati kami lah. Orang Terengganu tak boleh memang. Basikal Terengganu Land of Cyclist. Apa pun kita kena buat juga. Jadi bayaran tu memang orang nak. Tapi bagi kami pertamanya misi adalah Terengganu mesti kekalkan sebagai Terengganu Land of Cyclist. Dan juga event ni saya rasa negeri lain tak buat, saya rasa.
Betul? Ada Selangor, Tour Selangor.
Ya.
Yeah.
Space tak banyak.
Okey. Betul.
Kalau tanya saya, sebenarnya gila kerja ni.
Betul. 8 stage.
8 stage.
Sama level dengan Tour Langkawi.
Ya, sama level dengan Tour Langkawi. Dan saya bukan nak mendambil ada. Tidak. Bab ni. Cuma kita buat dan kita buat. Saya rasa jadi kok. Jadi mana saya pun tak tahu apa sebenarnya yang telah pun berlaku, jadi tak jadi, ada komplain ke apa kan. Tapi alhamdulillah 8 stage saya fikir memang tak pernah buat 8 stage ni. Ya, habis banyak 3 stage, Negeri Sembilan, Selangor 3 stage, 5 stage. Sampai 8 stage ni mungkin kerja gila. Tapi lah kita buat. Pasal kita kena buat dulu.
Langgar dulu.
Langgar dulu lah. Tapi langgar pun dengan ada ilmu lah, kata ada ilmu lah, maknanya langgar dulu. Tapi negeri lain kalau nak buat kena belajar dengan kita lah.
Oh, itulah.
Betul itu ayat
Ya, maknanya kita pun tanya kat negeri lain lah. Tapi sama-sama gitulah. Tapi untuk makluman 8 stage ni memang pelik lah. Memang saya kalau kata sanggup tak sanggup. Tapi gitulah. Mana kalau orang tak boleh nak hadap tidur 2-3 jam, sehari makan tak kenyang, tak boleh buat.
Jangan buat lah.
Jangan buat
Kamu terang memang tak boleh buat. Tu bagi saya. Yang penganjur lagi teruk. Macam Bombay sekali yang fikir apa semua lihat MSNT, bak duit lagi apa semua sekali. Tapi ikhlas saya bagi tahu 8 stage memang gila lah. Memang satu kerja yang
Tanya.
tapi kita langgar je lah.
Langgar je.
So Danny, you are here since 2001. Do they give you any Malay name yet? Or still Danny till now?
Danny.
Or maybe Dan or Din or
No, Danny. Danny. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I've got to ask though, specifically for like the progression and the growth. We talked a lot about that. I also want to talk about your future hopes for organizations like TSG and other upcoming organizations and how they want to actually try to pursue the growth of international talent.
International talent.
Like how to basically nurture this talent, because we were talking a little bit about youth and how healthy the growth is. So nurturing that talent and also trying to close that gap. As try to, not to say close that gap as quickly as possible, because we did talk about like the difference between like the European teams, American teams, how the nutrition, technology, the athletic mindset. How do we nurture that, and how do we build it efficiently?
I think the only way to get to the international level, it would have to send the young riders, send a young rider to Europe to open. You talk about you have the opportunity, get as many young riders to Europe, to the highest level. Let them compete in the junior level, and then they will able to adapt, and the ones who want to be there, wants to compete there, they will learn and adapt, and they come back and they train harder, and then they will learn how the local guys, how they eat, how they train, how they sleep, and how they prepare mindset wise. So that's the first step. You need to expose them. You cannot blame the local guys that they're not able to compete in world level, because they haven't even seen the world level. How do you expect them to compete at that level if you never expose them? So first is exposure, and the second thing, it will be, even within the region, we need more races like Tour of Gate, and we need more. Yes, Tour Langkawi is great, but there's only a handful of Malaysian riders can participate in Tour de Langkawi. And Tour de Langkawi is now such a high level. You have some of the world tour riders, and just frankly, you expect them to compete at the same level. It's impossible. So you need races like Gate, Tour of Gate. I wish every state will have something similar to open up for the junior rider. You talk about Tour of Negeri Sembilan, Tour of Perlis, and all these. Even Selangor, all these open up for the junior rider, for them the opportunity for under 23, under 19. Now they're under 19, they're already winning some biggest races in the professional level. Let them expose and learn. And even at this race, I'm not with TSG. I'm actually with an Asian Wings Asia Academy, Cycling Academy, and we're bringing a couple young riders from Hong Kong, from Japan, from Taiwan. It's to expose them, and we need more of this type of exposure, and also a Singaporean and a Malaysian rider too. So we just make it all. We're trying to combine all, but we need more races like them exposed to compete alongside with some very experienced professional rider. And so since they cannot go to Europe, it's very far away, you take a lot of money and take a lot of sacrifices, but you are able to compete with them even in Malaysia. So we need more races like this all over Asia if you want to elevate the level of the local rider to catch up.
I think it's also a holistic approach as well, an educational approach to to expose these riders not only to not just the mentality, and it's also the protocol, how the conduct of how
Yes.
to carry yourself within
Yes.
these international level tournaments, right?
Yes, absolutely. So that really, I mean, even just first time I'm actually driving a team car with some of the young rider, and they didn't even know how to come back to feet. You know, they were today the rider, the one the Japanese rider, they come in bring the bottle back to me, and he threw. He threw into the team car, hit me in the face with the water inside. You know, so like they need a lot, but it's okay. They never had the exposure, right? He's only doing Japanese circuit races where there's the Swan-Air stand on the roadside giving them water. He never go to the team car, and he didn't know how to do all this. So, but you see, if you get an opportunity to see what other like Tringano cycling, TSG, and how the pro rider they're able to bring back like 20 bottles. I mean, literally 10 bottles on their back, and how easy and how calm they are. And so the younger rider, you know, they're learning, but the opportunity like this really give them a platform to learn, and some of them may decide to continue on to the future as a professional, and some of them may not be. But if you don't go through this first step, you never get to the second step.
Yeah, I mean, trial by fire,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
It's either you pass by the ring of fire or you get burned.
Exactly, and I was talking earlier with the Australian rider and a US rider, and they have obviously performed very well. But believe me, they didn't just race in US or Australia and then suddenly they go to Europe. And when they did that, they get their butt kicked. Also, they had to. So in like the American, they have like under 23, under 19 team. They are based in Belgium. They are based in Spain. They are based in different part of and. Australia had the AIS was based in Italy in the Mappei training center. They were sending riders, just numbers every year, like 10, 20 junior riders go there, and maybe two out of 10, sometimes one out of 10 survive. I mean, survive means not physically, but they're able to survive through the season, and they stay on. And the guys who didn't make it go back and get a normal job. But it is a number game. You have to continue to try this, and there's no guarantee of success. But if you don't do that is called development. And this is unfortunately, this costs money, and there's not much glory in it, because you're not going to produce a Pocaccia overnight. You're going to take 100 guys who didn't make it to produce one guy who actually made it. You compete at the very highest level. You know that the dropout rate is significant. But for the young kids, they have to try. Even though they may not become a top professional, but you expose them to international world. They may become something else. They may learn from that. And I know as a young kid, I immigrated from China to US, and I learned a lot just by going to a different culture, different society, and you really open up. Because I was growing up in the communist China, like where you really don't know anything. The whole media is controlled. But nowadays, by opening up, and then you learn a lot. So that's, I hope Malaysia will do more of this grassroots development. I know John Beasley, I talking to him earlier this year, have very, very much wanted it to. They have done a great job with the track program. Now the key is how do we grow the road scene. So it's gonna take a bit of investment from the Malaysian side.
Takes time, Okay, thank you Danny. Terima kasih Boh Nijah kerana sama kita podcast yang ringkas, padat tetapi bermanfaat.
Dan banyak informasi yang maklumat yang diberikan kepada para penonton di rumah tu.
Terima kasih. So setakat ini saja podcast kita pada malam ini. Terima kasih. Thank you again Danny. Thank you again Abang Nijah. Dan sampai sini sajalah podcast kita untuk Raudah Cahaya Tua Gatih 25 pada hari ini. Kita akan berjumpa lagi besok, mungkin bersama Kiki dan Anwar Manan. Saya Rizal Tisim bersama rakan partner saya Nick. Jumpa lagi esok insya-Allah. Bye bye.